day, Nigeria. My name is Babatunde Adeola Kehinde for Nigeria TV. On this interview, we'll be speaking to the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Ghana chapter, Ikenna Valentine Ilo. We'll be discussing the issues as it concerns Nigerian students in Ghana and some of the challenges affecting them. Valentine, welcome.
Thank you very much.
This interview should have happened last year, but we kept postponing it.
Yeah.
How's your day going?
Oh, we thank God, we're fine.
Good. So let's go through your personality first.
Sure.
Where in Nigeria are you from? How did you delve into politics? Just give us a background of who exactly you are before we delve into the conversation itself.
Okay, my name is Ikenna Valentine. I'm from Enugu State in Nigeria. And my politics started when I was in Zenith University College, when I did my BSc. I got my BFC certificate. I was in Zenith University College, and from my 100 level, I was involved in student activism. I got fully involved in everything happening in student politics. And from my 100 to my 400 level, I was actually in power in school. Yeah, so I've been into student politics for so long, and I've added my quota in student politics.
And so, is this something you had wanted to do growing up in Nigeria? Is this something you wanted to do, politics?
No, not really. You know, sometimes it comes naturally, and I think that's how it is in my case. I had no interests, but when I got into the school, I kind of saw some issues that I can fix, some problems that the people were facing that I could fix. So I joined with the people in power already, and I helped fix those issues, which landed me an appointment from my 100 level. Okay. So because of the way I was helping them fix a lot of issues, and later on I went for elections, and everybody supported me because they already have seen what I could do. They could already see my dedication into the administration, so they supported me, they rallied behind me, and I was actually the first Nigerian student to become the PRO of Zenith University College. Okay. Yeah, normally they don't allow, I think Nigerians are only welfare and welfare officer and organizing secretary. So I was organizing secretary, and you know, the hunger for more, I felt like I can do better, I can do more. So we challenged the constitution, and by God's grace we won the case, and I came out for the PRO position, and by God's grace I delivered. And
what did you deliver?
Then,
1 year.
Could say,
what did you do?
Yeah, 1 year. But then I did my best. I brought up a lot of strategies that they have not seen before. You know, the Nigerian way. I brought out a lot of strategies. I delivered in a lot of different ways that they didn't feel like it was going to be like that. It was going to work like that.
But they've never seen before.
Yes. So it really made me, like, you know, I think even up till now, and I've been done with Zenith for like 5 years. But then, you know, I'm still well known. If you go to the school, you see a lot of projects that my administration carried out. It's still there till now. You know, and most of those things were initiatives that came from mostly we Nigerians in power. We were, you know, bringing up a lot of initiatives, and we had a good president that listened, and by God's grace, he applied them, and till now we have the legacy of the only administration that, if you come to school till now, our legacy is still there. Like, it's all over the school.
You have legacy projects?
Yes, it's all over the school till right now.
Now let's delve into the issue of Nigerian students. You and I, we know Nigerian students face quite a number of challenges in Ghana. Yeah. Nigerian residents, actually, you know, traders, business people, they face challenges in Ghana, and students are not actually excluded. What are some of the challenges as a president, and you being a student, did you see?
One of the pressing issues that we see as Nigerian students, first of all, is adaptation. You know, most times when the students come to Ghana, they find it hard to adapt. You know, they find it hard to adapt to the environment. They find it hard to know this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm supposed to do, unless they have people that are going to actually direct them. So that is one of the major issues we have, and many of them also, you know, finding a house, you know how expensive rent is over here right now, you know. So those are some of the issues that we have seen. And then secondly, one of the most pressing is the issue of the residence permits, them having to do the resident permits, do the Ghana card, and
that's a non-citizen Ghana card.
Non-citizen Ghana card.
This is about $120.
Yes. So you see that every year you see we have to renew them. You see, so it doesn't. To me, it's a very big issue, which I've actually, you know, noticed that, you know, having a student to renew the non-citizen card and the resident permit every year, it's a whole lot of money for a student, you know, every single year. So those are one of the very serious pressing issues that we
now you've been in power June 2022.
Yeah.
That's when your administration began.
Yeah.
And you said that, oh, you realized that Nigerian students face accommodation issues. They face issues with residency. There's the Ghana card issue, renewing their permits. What steps did you put in place to solve this issue? I mean, I know you can't entirely solve it, but what exactly have you done to say, okay, the next administration, when you come in, you could easily continue?
As for the accommodation issues and them settling in issues, we try to educate our NSA presidents in schools. We have the Nigerian Students Association in every school, which we call the NSA. So we try to educate them to, if they have students, new students coming in, they should try as much as they can. When they have their matriculation, they should invite us. So we come around, and a lot of schools have invited us, and we came around, we met the Nigerian students, we educated them on what they need to know. We took their contact, add them to our group. So in our group, you meet a lot of other Nigerians, so they find it very easy to adapt, you know, to be comfortable in the country. So
that's solving the issue of adaptation.
Adaptation.
So now let's go into the more pressing issues, which I know the students will actually want to hear about.
So the other issue, the way we've tried to solve it is, so I was in a forum with the Director General of Immigration, and I raised
Ghana's immigration.
Yes, and I raised I raised this issue with him, and I've been trying so hard. It's one thing that I really tried in the beginning of my administration to make sure that we solve that problem. I've been trying so hard to make sure that they try to look for a way to make it easier for us, the students. At least if the resident permit, if the Ghana card can do what the resident permit can do for us, then there is no need for the resident permit. If the resident permit also can do what the Ghana card can do for us, then why do we have to, you know, have to get to the two of them and renew it every year? At least you can give us, if I'm a student and you are giving me a Ghana card, you can make it for 4 years. That when I graduate from school, it becomes invalid. Then I can do one as a normal person and no more a student. Do you understand? So I raised the issue for them, and he said he's going to look into it, which I've also written them a letter for them to attend our symposium that we are planning to do by next month. So, and by God's grace, they're going to be there, and we created that symposium so that the students can be able to also voice out their concerns, and we kind of imply them to give us solution, a tangible solution at that point.
Fantastic. Yeah. And let's now take a look at the statistics. Do you have a clear idea of how many students or how many Nigerians come to school in Ghanaian schools every year? Do you have an idea?
No, we tried as much as we could to have a census like that, but we were just getting estimates. You know, you ask a school, they said, oh, I think we have 45 students. I think we have 50 students. You know, we try to get to the registrars, you know, to get a data of all the Nigerian students, but it's one of the hardest things for us to even, I was working hand in hand with the High Commission on that to make sure we get those data, but we couldn't actually get the full data. So I can't really say right now that this is the amount of Nigerian students schooling.
Do you have
in
like
Ghana.
a range? Or
Not really.
You don't have like a range?
Not really. What we have mostly is, in NANS, we have people that register with us. Like, there's a due that you pay, a school will pay, and we know that this school is with us. They are, on this administration with us. They are member unions. So, so we have a clear member union number, people that are, schools that are our member unions.
And how many?
But
how many
right now we have 48 schools that are member unions, but it's not all the schools that we have here in Ghana. There are lots of other schools that have Nigerians that we don't, many of them we don't even know. You understand? Many of them, there are lots of them that you hear, you're like, wow, there's a school like this, you see, and they have Nigerians. So mostly what we do is we try to reach out to the school, go to them, meet our people, and also get their contact. So they are going to, know about NANS Ghana chapter.
Fantastic. Now, when it comes to supporting some of the students, I know the challenges in Nigeria financially, and the school fees that Nigerian students have to pay here.
Yeah.
Do you have plans? I mean, were there ways by which you're able to help certain students who are not able to pay for their school fees?
For paying their school fees, we don't do that. Even though we try to help some students, mostly when we see that, okay, this is genuine, we try our best to offer solutions. But trust me, if we say we want to start paying school fees for Nigerian students, we'll have more than 500 to 1,000 of them that you have to pay their school fees.
Yeah.
You see, so our association doesn't pay their school fees. Though what I've done in my tenure, I have lots of students that complain to me about issues like that. They're having issues with paying their school fees, they need help and everything. So mostly, I try to call them, talk to them, try to see what their issue is coming from, try to see maybe if they have any skills that can actually earn them money, and I advise them on how to make money through their skills. You see, so I've done that with a couple of students, and I know some of them are actually doing very well right now. So some of them have helped them find jobs that could actually give them money to pay their school fees, because I believe that anybody that is determined can pay their school fees. Trust me, from my 100 level to my 400 level, I never had any family support. I did it myself. I paid my school fees myself when I was in Zenith University College.
But you do business, right?
By then, I wasn't really, I wasn't as business savvy as I am now.
So how are you paying?
Yeah, I was working.
I mean, basically, that's what they'll ask. If you are not getting support from home,
yeah,
I mean, they'll ask, if you're not also doing business, then how are you funding it?
It's not as if I wasn't doing business, but then, let me say, everything I was making from business was going into my school fees. Okay. Right? That was my full focus. That's why I say that any determined person can actually do it. If I can do it at, in Zenith University College. I was first of all working as an IT expert for Platinum Global Consult, which is owned by the owner of Zenith University College. So I was managing like 7 of his businesses. So I have 3 hours every day to work. So and then my spare time, I do buy and sell. Like, let me say, if you have any need in school, I made myself well known that when people have issues with their phones, their laptops, they can easily call me to come and help them fix it. So I do take it, and then people knew me with one very big bag I used to carry that has plenty laptops inside, laptop phones and everything. Oh, yeah. So that was basically how I paid off my school fees for 4 good years. You see? Fantastic.
Valentine, when we come back from the break, we'll be discussing Nigerian politics.
Sure.
I know the Nigerian political system has more or less permeated into this Ghanaian landscape as far as Nigerian students is concerned. When we come back from the break, we'll go into that conversation. And we are still speaking to Mr. Valentine. He's the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students. He's spoken quite a lot about Nigerian students, the challenges they face over here in Ghana. But after the break, we'll be delving into the political terrain itself. In 2023, the presidential election happened, the governorship election happened, and that particular poll generated a lot of buzz, both in Nigeria and away from Nigeria. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We are still having this all-important conversation with Valentine Ikena, who is the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, the Ghana chapter. Val, so let's now delve into the politics of Nigeria more or less. Between February and March, Nigeria was at the center of the world. Everybody was talking about who was going to be our president, our next president. There was Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, there's Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and of course, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, who has been a former vice president before. Let me get your general impression on the elections, what you thought about it generally, before we delve into the other issues.
Okay.
That's from the student's perspective.
All right. On my perspective, I can't talk on the student's perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm discussing is my perspective, and personally, I think this election, just like I always say, it's one of the most peaceful elections. It's not 100% peaceful, but it's been one of the most peaceful elections that we've seen in Nigeria in recent times. At least there was less record of deaths. And for the way it is going right now, with the court case ongoing, and we're getting very close to the swearing of the new president.
Administration.
It's just about we folding our hands and we watching what is going to happen, because there have been a lot of speculations from a lot of people that the swearing in wouldn't happen, and a lot of people pushing for it not to happen because of the court case and everything. But frankly, we just have to hold on and wait to see what will happen in the elections for now.
Let me put you on the spot.
Okay.
I know we didn't discuss it, but let me put you on the spot. Did your candidate win the election?
I really can't discuss that, trust me. I really can't discuss that. For me, anybody that's won the election is my candidate as a Ghana president. You see, we are an unbiased association. We don't take sides in politics at all, because we have to work with anybody that comes in. You see, and you know how student movement is. If we, as student leaders, start pushing an agenda and we drag the students into it, it might cause chaos or mayhem, and we might not be able to handle it. So we decided fully to make sure that we stay off declaring that we are supporting any candidate. So you support your candidates in private and you vote for your candidates in private, and whoever wins, we work with the person. So that is NANS Ghana chapter for you. So
I'm still going to ask you what do you expect from the incoming administration. Okay. But again, let me also pick your mind on individually the personalities of the three leading candidates. What do you make of them? What do you make of Peter Obi? People see him to be humble. Well, that's the personality he has, the brand
he has portrayed
to people. Where he's humble. For Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for instance, people see him to be, rich. If people see him to use his money, his influence to get what he wants. What is your own personal thought of the individual candidates?
Personally, as for P2B and how he portrays himself as humble, I think it's true. He's a humble man. I've met him before. When he was governor of Anambra State, back then I was in Main Market Onitsha. I used to sell goods back then, and I met P2B a couple of times. He comes to the shop, comes to your shop, talks to you, try to know your problems, and also, like, if you've not paid your tax, he enforces you to make sure you do the right thing. So I think he's actually a very, very good candidate. He's a very good one, and he has this, because one thing I keep telling people is that for Nigeria to work, we have to change ourselves, the citizens. It's not just mostly about the leaders. We have to start from ourselves. And, if you watch during the elections when people started this campaign of what would P2B do, you understand, if we as Nigerians we are able to follow some certain principles, some certain discipline, like discipline ourselves. You know, I think it's going to go a long way in rebranding Nigeria. And Peter Obi is someone who actually has that personality to enforce the people to discipline themselves. You understand? Because that's the most important thing. We being disciplined as Nigerians, you know, we seeing
at all
traffic,
levels.
yeah, at all
levels,
yeah, seeing traffic and still standing in a single lane. You know, we go into the bank, standing in the queue to, you understand? You know, forgetting all this, you know, as we Nigerians are, we are always like this, we're always aggressive. If we can discipline ourselves and remove all those aggressiveness, which I think Peter Obi would actually have gone a long way in bringing in discipline into the people. That is what I personally think about him. And he has very, very good plans for education also. He had very good plans during his campaign for education. And but so as other candidates also have their own personal opinions.
What about Tinubu? What did you make of the former Lagos State governor?
Yeah, Tinubu also, he has done very well. Like, he's a two-time governor of Lagos State, and he has done well for Nigerian politics in his own level. You know, that's why they call him the Jagaban of Nigerian politics. He has done very, very well for himself in Nigerian politics. He has brought up a lot of people, you know, both Igbo, outside Yoruba. He has brought everybody together. He has worked with everybody. He is one person who is very, very smart in politics. Someone who, I heard somebody say that he's been planning for this election, this 20,
for more than 20 years.
Yeah, for so many years. So
like a chess piece.
Yes, so he has putting people in places, and you know, it works for him. And personally, I think if he continues with that, you know, notwithstanding the fact, okay, I'm now the president, let me now do, you know, something different. If he continues with that, empowering people, with that being there for people, you know, no matter where they come from, no matter the tribe they come from, if he continues with that, he's actually going to be one of the best presidents Nigerians have seen. Because, I mean, he was a good governor in Lagos State. You know, he came into Lagos State and transformed a lot of things. So I think if by God's grace he has good health and God grants him the wisdom, he's going to be one of the best presidents Nigerians have ever seen.
And what about Atiku Abubakar? The former vice president. Yeah,
Atiku also has very, very good plans for Nigerians. You know, he's been our vice president, and during his time as vice president, he actually impacted a lot. He worked very, very well with Obasanjo, and you know, impacted a lot also in Nigeria. So I think he would also have been a very, very good president if he becomes a president.
Okay, let's now go into your expectation. What do you expect from the president-elect? From May 29th, he will be the next president. I mean, the economy is bad. Yeah. The security challenges are still there. Electricity challenges are still there. If you could rank, which challenge do you think that this president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should fix?
First of all, and most importantly, the electricity issue is one thing that, you know, lots of countries around the world bash Nigerians for. You know, it's one thing that lots of people have come and go, but they have not been able to fix it. And I'm hoping that Bola Ahmed Tinubu can solve that problem. At least if he can solve it. I heard that back then in Lagos State, he brought in the initiative of, he brought in a way to solve the power issue in Nigeria, but then I think it was not approved back then or something, so he didn't apply it. So we are hoping that right now that he's the president, he can also, you know, still try his best to bring in that initiative that he had back then when he was the governor of Lagos State. I think if he can bring it on board right now, I think it's going to help a whole lot. And then secondly, he should work on unemployment. It is one very, very big issue that have been facing Nigerian students. You know, you see people finish school and come out and they have nothing doing. They are home, you know. So what some of them say, you know, that's why he's been training that school is scam. Yeah. Because after going to school, you do your NYSC, you come back, there's nothing to show for it. Yeah. You sit at home. You know, many times I kind of thank God I came to school in Ghana, and I'm able to, you know, You know, because Ghana gives you the opportunity to be what you want to be once you are focused. You know, but mostly Nigeria doesn't give you that opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, so
I mean,
think,
there are strikes.
yeah,
An educational period that could have, educational course that could have taken you 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you go for
spending
6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he can fix all these issues in education, I think it's going to help a lot. It's really, really going to help a lot in, you know, making the country a better place. Because now everybody is, you know, this is a Japa season, everybody is running away from Nigeria, and it's not supposed to be like that.
Well, you have Japa today now. You've also Japa, so because you are here. I'm also here.
That's the thing. We are all Nigerians, but we are here.
We are outside.
But trust me, if these simple issues can be solved in Nigeria, trust me, people wouldn't want to leave Nigeria. Because we talk about the economy, but trust me, Nigeria's economy is one of the best economy.
I mean, comparatively to any other on the continent. Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
it's very, very, you know, the price of fuel is extremely very cheap.
Even food,
the price of food,
really.
Everything is cheap in Nigeria.
Because when you leave outside Nigeria and you go back to Nigeria, then you actually appreciate the prices of food
in
and
Nigeria.
Clothes and stuff like that.
Everything is just very cheap.
I agree with you.
So the economy is an economy that you would want to live in.
Yeah.
You see, but the problem is the little things. Like when you're in Nigeria, you don't have lights. So you have to always buy fuel all the time to fuel your generator, or you stay without lights, which, you know, people can be, you know, if there is no lights, you are less productive. You know, you go to somebody's business and you hear, oh, there's no. Sometimes when I go to somebody's shop to buy something in Nigeria and there's no light, maybe there's no fan, I'm rushing to leave. I wouldn't calm down, and so even the normal business sector, it's affecting them. It's affecting everybody. You see. So you see companies have to waste a lot of money to buy fuel for generators that they use to run their business in a day, which, you know, it doesn't make sense.
All right, let's now, I mean, finally, we are wrapping up. If you had a magic wand and you were supposed to change something as far as Nigerian students are concerned, what would you want to change? If you had like a magic wand and let this change, and what is it you like to change?
Personally, I would like to change the way our Nigerians are being seen in Ghana, or being treated in Ghana.
Perception.
Yes, you know, that perception of Nigerians are bad, it's spreading. It's spreading day by day, and, you know, I've met lots of Nigerians as a Nigerian, and we are not really what we are being portrayed to be, but then we have a whole lot of number. And there's no how you wouldn't see a Judas in every 12, you see. So we have a few people that are spoiling the name of Nigeria, doing some things, and then they say that all Nigerians are like that. You see, I've always lived my life in Ghana to change that perception. I've always, anywhere I go, I try to let people understand that Nigerians are not like that. Personally, I do it through my actions, the way I treat people, the way I behave with people. I've lived with a whole lot of Ghanaians, and then we've never had any issue. My best friend right now is a Ghanaian in Ghana here. He's a Ghanaian, and, you know, we are always in touch. You know, we look out for each other and all. And Ghanaians are wonderful people, so as Nigerians are. So if I have a magic wand, trust me, I'm going to change that, because it's, you know, it's very, very sickening when you hear a landlord say, I don't want a Nigerian in my compound. And even some of our Nigerian landlords even do that in Ghana here. They say they don't want a Nigerian. And it doesn't say well about us. When you go anywhere and once you're Nigerian, they start treating you differently. You know, even when they sell this for this price and you're Nigerian, they tend to increase the price for you because of another perception of Nigerians have money. You see, so that is what I wish to change, because it's going to help us a lot if we are being seen as good people, which we are being seen for the person that we are. You know, it's going to really, really help us as Nigerian students adapt easily in Ghana. You see, because I was in Kumasi, and a school in Kumasi I visited. They said that all the landlords around don't allow Nigerians anymore. All the landlords. So now they have to patch, their school hostel is not big enough to contain them. So they have to patch with each other on the school hostel. The school hostel that's supposed to contain 4 people is now containing like 10 to 15 people because there is nowhere they can stay. So that perception is very bad, and I really hope our Ghanaian brothers can, you know, change that perception about Nigerians, and we all will be happy.
Ilo Ikena Valentine is the president of the outgoing president, right?
Yeah.
Of the National
I'm not
Association.
outgoing because
not outgoing yet.
We are not
so
outgoing,
by
yeah.
June, your administration will be over. But you're outgoing now. We are in May. It's just June.
No, when we have an electoral commission,
like
outgoing.
Like Buhari will say, he's not an outgoing president.
He's an outgoing president because we have a new president. I don't have a new president yet, so I'm still the president. Yeah.
Technically, you are still the new
president. Yeah.
All right, that's Ilo Ikena Valentine. He is the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students. We've been having a discussion about Nigerian students in Ghana, some of the challenges they go through. We've also discussed the national politics, what he expects personally from the incoming administration, that's the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, and a number of other issues. My name is Babatunde Adeola Kende from Nigeria TV.